Hey, everybody. Yeah, so really quick, the Cyber AB is on their call right now with the C3PAOs, and they're lying like crazy. So I need to just jump on here really, really quick. I'll be short to clarify the record. One of the things is that they said that they won't name me because I'm apparently like Voldemort now, but they said that, some guy in South America is a critic of the scheme. First of all, don't be racist, okay? By claiming that I'm South American to try to make my legitimacy somehow minimized is racist, okay? I'm a white guy like you, okay? So I guess I automatically get authenticity, if that's the way you think. But labeling me as like some South American is a little disingenuous. Next, they said that I said that they were surrendering their authority to ANAB. Never said that, you dips. I never said it. Okay. I said you're entirely allowed to outsource to ANAB. You got to have a procedure and you got to tell people. And you don't. There's no procedure. That's per 17011. I didn't write it. Take it up with them. You can't just outsource your audits. You got to have procedures to control them. And you don't have that. That's the violation of 17011. Next, I think it was Steve Medellin who said, falsely, it is absolutely false what he said. He says, we don't need 17011 to issue accredited certificates to 17020. Not true. One, your DoD contract says you gotta have it. Take it up with the DoD. Okay, take it up with them. Second, in order to get 17011, I get it. You have to do some audits because you need to generate evidence to then provide your oversight body who's going to grant you the 17011. So I get it. But what you do, and I've done this, I just created helped create an entire accreditation body in the country of Nepal, for example. And this is what we did. What you do is you issue 17020s, you do the audits, you do all of that stuff, but those are unaccredited certificates. So you pick a couple C3PAOs, you have them go through your pilot program, you grant them 17020, but you don't make any accreditation claims. Then you use the evidence that you gathered from those experiences, you present those during your 17011 audit, okay? And at that point, you get your accreditation. And then there's a little mechanism that you use, and you go back and you convert those non-accredited 17020 C3PAOs, and you flip the switch, and now they become accredited. And there's a little bit of paperwork you have to do, and you might have to do a half-day remote audit, but that's what you do. You first issue non-accredited certificates, you get your accreditation as an AB, then you swap those around. He's saying he could just go out and issue 17011 without accreditation because he has to, okay, in order to get the 17011. And it sounds logical, but it's also factually untrue. Here's the thing. None of this is even a problem. It's not a problem. So Matt Travis, Steve Medellin, all you other clown shoe wearing nut jobs over there at the Cyber AB, pull in. I want to tell you something, okay? You're going to get your certification. You're going to get your accreditation. You'll be fully accredited by the IAAC and you'll get your 17011. And you know why? Because the IAAC is hopelessly corrupt. As corrupt as you clowns are, they've got you beat. And I want to give you two examples. One, I was involved in a very major case in South America. Well, it was actually in the United States where we provided testimony for a court case. We found that as an industry, the plywood coming out of Brazil was all fraudulent. In other words, the plywood that you're using in your deck or wherever in your home, which is supposed to be construction grade, in the United States, was shipped from Brazil, and it's totally not because they falsified all the lab reports. We filed complaints, and it went up to the IAAC, which is the same organization that's going to accredit the AB. The IAAC did nothing. They're required to, but they didn't. So they're allowing this defective plywood to be shipped into the United States under their logo and accreditation. Second, the Odebrecht scandal. This case was so significant that the former president of Peru, Alan Garcia, committed suicide in order to avoid arrest in the Odebrecht scandal. I want you to think about that. Think about if George Bush or Bill Clinton committed suicide in order to avoid arrest. Okay, it would be all over the news. It wasn't in the news because it's down here in Peru and South America and nobody cares. It was a massive scandal. That company, Odebrecht, went on to get ISO, I forget the standard now, it's an anti-bribery scandal certification from ISO. We filed complaints, and the IAAC again ignored that, okay? So if you can issue an anti-bribery certificate to the company that was responsible for the world's largest bribery scandal that resulted in an actual head of state killing himself, in just one example, then perhaps the IAAC is not particularly, ethical. So absolutely, the Cyber AB is going to get its accreditation. You're going to get it. No one's going to believe it's legitimate. Everyone's going to know it was rubber stamped. It was all fake, but you're going to get it. So calm down already and stop treating me like Voldemort, you. And then just in closing, I'll stop now. I don't understand why everyone involved in the AB, or also all of these CMMC shills, are just wired wrong. It's like they just were born with bad brains. Why is it your natural inclination to lie? Why is that? Explain that to me. You know there's a documented record of the emails that we talked about regarding this ANAB thing, and then you got on the call and you lied about it. Why do you lie about everything? Why do the folks at the AB sign documents, sign contracts they don't comply with? Why do they submit certs and reps they don't comply with? Why is every natural inclination to lie to the American defense industry and then claim to be patriots, giving yourselves fake plastic Captain America shields? What is going on with your brains? I don't understand it. I don't. I'm of a mindset that says it's more patriotic to try not to bankrupt the DIB, because that's what the Chinese want. I don't get it. The other thing, too, one last thing is, Steve Medellin, please go read the IAAC procedures. You have no idea what's coming. In order for you to get your 17011, you will have to witness a C3PAO auditing a DIB company. So that company is going to go through an audit where the C3PAO is going to be present, representatives of the Cyber AB are going to be present, and representatives from the IAAC are going to be present, and all of those will be foreign nationals. It's right on their website.